Hi, welcome back to Dial Twang. I'm Dave. So we got a little C, kind of slow rock thing here. It's 1-4-5. It's C, G, and F. And in a minute we'll zoom in here and get going, and I'll show you the progression and the basic ideas of what kind of scale, mapping I was using there. And then the goal for this lesson is to you know get into kind of a short composition, right? And that doesn't mean, we can't throw that backing track on and just jam out for, I do that all the time. I love it. I live for it. But, putting together like a couple times around in a progression that might fit in more like an actual solo in a song or something like that. And sometimes that's fun, and it helps you as a player because it challenges you to kind of consolidate your ideas and really make an overarching statement with that solo. So, this isn't going to be that far out or whatever. I'm going to break it down in the usual twang ways. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. And if you're, working along with these videos and I've been talking to you a little bit, or you're just, it's working out for you, it's great. I love hearing from everybody. So off we go with this. Okay, got you moved in here. So the progression, the chords for this jam real quick are, it's in C major. So the one chord, C, then down to the 5, G, to the 4, F, back to the 1, then to the 5. The 5's kind of like a little one-note turnaround kind of thing, right? So pretty straightforward on the 1-4-5 in C, G, and F. So that takes care of our chords, our progression. Now some melodic ideas, some note sequences, scales, what's going to really fit in here well. Well, we're certainly going to try out some C major pentatonic. Pretty sure that's going to work out. We're going to test it. And then, probably some of the C major notes in the C major scale, just the do, re, mi scale. Okay. We'll have to fish around and see which ones sound really cool on certain chords and stuff. That's part of the fun of it. So let's try these couple of items out. Okay, here's some C major pentatonic. Okay, that's working good. Now I'm going to do a little do, re, mi stuff. Okay, got a little crazy there at the end. But that, it's really fun. I almost didn't want to stop just then because, you're always looking for that next thing. Like, oh yeah, maybe what if I, did a little, number on those 2 frets and then down to that target note or whatever, And if you make that sort of kind of tree, I guess branching off, you got this kind of like one, real, like the diagram there, one kind of real mechanical, image of this pattern, and then you start putting in those little bends and the little half steps and stuff, and it just really starts kind of moving out in every direction. That's a really cool feeling, and really you get into kind of the abstraction of it, the endless possibilities of it. So there's the diagram for that C major pentatonic. That's really going to be a big part of it. You can also use a position like this. Okay. Now sometimes that'll start sounding a little bit more like you're playing like, an A minor pentatonic, same notes, more of like a blues scale thing there. Yeah, a little bit of that's probably okay, but I really like that major pentatonic sound on a piece like this. That's really kind of all you need for me. That's just the way I feel it. So now some timing stuff. And I want to show you a couple little. I did this bend here. This. Okay, that's kind of tough to do at first. You start off. If you're not ready for that, or if that's kind of holding you back too much or something, do just like a bend on this one. That's a little pocket right there. And really try to make some statements, some phrases out of that pattern, and kind of start loosening it up a little bit. You just kind of isolate little stuff like that and really, really dedicate, your patience to it. Was almost all right within that sequence of that real boxy, but starting to, do a little bit more, being a little bit more mindful of like the phrasing and stuff, and just let it kind of emerge from that. So there's some good melodic ideas. There's another kind of, it's the same notes as the do re mi, the major scale here. But do some tracing, one finger tracing, I call it, where you just go up the scale. Don't try to visually memorize it or use your memory if you don't. Just fish around for the notes at first. You'll know which ones sound. Some of that up here was an octave higher than. Right. Don't worry about catching all of this at once and playing all this, everything in this video right away. It's not, maybe you do, that'd be great. If not, take the parts that, really interest you, that feel like, they're right where you want to be with your playing, and focus on that. I'm just giving you a wider range of, examples there. So when you do that kind of traveling, it's a little clunky, right? Because you're changing your position on every note. But it really helps you just kind of start connecting different zones, regions of the neck in a way that's, not super complicated, right? So let's say I'm down here. Okay. So that, man, that was covering some, some octaves there. It started, and at the end of it, we're at, same notes within that sequence, right? Because remember what we say on this channel is it's a continuum, a key, a 7-note scale is a continuum. It's you look at it as like that middle octave on the piano, and then all the other ones on the other side, right? The guitar doesn't have as many octaves in range as the piano, but when you can connect those things, it's really dynamic, right? And you can also just move position. There's nothing wrong with that if you're. So again, I want you to, be able to sort of see what something that looks like. Not necessarily play every one of those notes, but just the concept of it. Right? There's a position here and there's a position up here, and then you want some way to kind of smoothly climb up there and back down. That's kind of a cool stylistic thing that you can do. One of the things I'm doing here with this one note thing is a counting thing where it's sort of like I'm playing on the and of each note instead of the downbeat. The bass does it a lot on this track too. But here, I'll show you what I mean. If I went on the downbeat, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Feel that difference and that shift in the surfing of it. That's a really effective and simple way to really get some feel going on these climbs. So say okay. And what's nice about this is so fish around for that scale. It's kind of hard to imagine that beat. I'm just using my foot. You can't see it, but you have to do that feel. But when you put it against a drum kit and a real track or a band, it really puts you in a little bit of a suspended feeling. And like most things, if you do that too much, it kind of loses its luster. But if you kind of mix that in with things that are more straight on the beat, and then it's really effective. And here's what I mean when you move into that. Here I'm really hitting on the. Okay. So, this is a lot what I'm telling you today. So here's a routine that you can, I think, kind of get going on this. You got the progression. Think about the three elements of music: the chords, the melody, and the timing and the tempo, the groove, right? So our chords, we got that. Our ideas for melodic stuff are C major pentatonic and the C major scale. Then timing wise, we're, kind of just doing like a lot of, four feel rock stuff, but we're going to do that on and, three, and four, and. And here's how you really count that out: one, and two, and three, and four, and one, and, 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 and. So you really want to practice that, and you'll feel it when it starts kicking in. So we put those, simplify it, we do those things, and you kind of start off in a region of this, a pocket of that major pentatonic pattern, and then you branch out with the notes, and then you just kind of work in the rhythmic ideas. That was that upbeat. Okay. I don't want to get carried away, but I wanted to just give you some, and that a lot of that's just my kind of language of those are the, the little notes that I like to lean on, the chord tones, and some of that was going to the, using the third of that when it goes to the G, C. I like that little area, little modal sounding area of that major key study. So that's it for today. Again, it's a lot of information. Start with the chords, then get the map, then the embellishments, and then really try to go for that. Feel thing, okay? Appreciate every one of you. Take it easy, and I'll talk to you soon.